7th grade science benchmark. Number 1. The xylem in plants is an adaptation that allows plants to do what? A. Reproduce asexually and sexually. B. Protect itself from predators. C. Receive sunlight. D. Transport water. Number 2. Which of the following is the least complex level of organization in the human body? F. Organ. G. Cell. H. System. Or J. Tissue. Number 3. Which statement best describes a climax community? A. Full sun exposure, few species. B. Sun and shade, grasses and shrubs. C. Stable, trees and shrubs. D. Lack of soil, mosses and lichens. Number 4. A student drew the model below to show the structures of a human body system. What is the main function performed by this body system? F. Exchanges oxygen and carbon dioxide in the body. G. Produces and transports oxygen to the cells of the body. H. Moves and excretes waste products from the body's cells. J. Controls and coordinates body functions such as movement. Number 5. Which of the answer choices describes the main function of the organelle labeled X? A. Storage. B. Reproduction. C. Energy transformation. D. Site of photosynthesis. Number 6. The data table below describes some organelles found within cells. Names: ribosome, Z, mitochondrion, X, small roundish bodies free in the cell or attached to the ER, green, oval usually containing chlorophyll, bean-shaped with inner membranes. Y makes proteins using instructions from the nucleus, uses light energy to make food for the plant, breaks down sugar molecules into energy. Which of the following accurately completes the table? X is function, Y is structure, and Z is chloroplast. G. X is function, Y is structure, and Z is lysosome. H. X is structure, Y is function, and Z is lysosome. J. X is structure, Y is function, and Z is chloroplast. Number 7. Nutrients and waste are transported to and from cells by which system? A. Integumentary system. B. Digestive system. C. Respiratory system. D. Circulatory system. 8. The dichotomous key below can be used to identify tree species. Please look on your test to see the complete dichotomous key. Based on the leaves shown above, what species of tree is it from? F. Quercus alba. G. Quercus buckley. H. Quercus phalos. J. Quercus marylandica. Use the image below to answer questions 9 and 10. Question 9. Based on your knowledge of how the sun's energy flows through food webs, which of the following explains how energy is flowing in the ecosystem shown above? A. The hawk provides energy to Z. B. Y receives energy from the grass. C. X receives energy from all other organisms in the ecosystem. D. The lizard provides energy to the grasshopper. Number 10. Which of the following components would have the greatest impact on the flow of energy if removed from the ecosystem in the image above? F. Hawk and mouse. G. Lizard and grasshopper. H. Mouse and trees. J. Grass and trees. Number 11. A group of students set up an experiment as shown in the image below. The students were most likely investigating what? A. Phototropism, a response of plants to an external stimulus. B. Geotropism, a response of plants to an external stimulus. C. Thigmotropism, a response of plants to an internal stimulus. D. Wilting, a response of plants to an internal stimulus. Number 12. A 100-year research study found that a majority of individuals within a population of Phoebus Cenae, commonly known as the sulfur butterfly, have begun to show some red coloring on their wings. Sulfur butterflies in the past have had yellow wings with no other colors present. Which of the following is the best explanation for this phenomenon? F. Female sulfur butterflies prefer males with wings that are yellow only and will not mate with red-winged males. G. Many plants with yellow flowers are being displaced by plants with red flowers due to climate change in the ecosystem where the population lives. H. Sulfur butterflies with red coloring on their wings are easier for predators to see. J. Sulfur butterflies are breeding with a large red-winged butterfly from a different genus, Algaeceo, the peacock butterfly. Dogs are descended from wolves and have changed dramatically in appearance and behavior from their wolf ancestors. Where do these changes have to occur to create a new species? A. A change in the habitat of wolves caused their extinction. B. Wolves had to change their behavior and interbreed with dogs. C. The behavior of humans towards dogs had to change over time. D. The genetic material of wolves had to change over time. The fur of the rabbits in the below images gives each animal a different advantage. The white fur in image 1 provides camouflage in areas with snow. The brown fur in image 2 provides camouflage in areas with trees, high grass, and shady areas. The different colors of fur are an example of what? F. Disruptions to natural selection. G. The independence of living things. H. Adaptations for survival under certain conditions. Or J. A voluntary response to external stimuli. Oxygen and carbon dioxide are exchanged in our cells within the mitochondria. In the human body, which organ performs the same function? A. The heart. B. The arteries. C. The skin. D. The lungs. 16. An ecosystem with high biodiversity has more types of food sources species than an ecosystem with low biodiversity. How would an ecosystem with high biodiversity be able to recover if one food source becomes unavailable? F. Organisms relying on the lost food source can eat a different food source that is available. G. Organisms relying on a lost food source can move to a different ecosystem to find food. H. Organisms relying on the lost food source will die and be replaced with different organisms. J. Organisms relying on the lost food source can grow their own food source in order to survive. Not J. 17. The Venn diagram below is comparing and contrasting sexual and asexual reproduction. Which of the following best represents the information belonging in the sections labeled A, B, and C? A. A is offspring with different genetic makeup. B is sperm and egg to reproduce. C is offspring with identical genetic makeup. A is offspring with different genetic makeup. B is offspring produced. C is offspring with identical genetic makeup. C. A is offspring with identical genetic makeup. B is produces offspring. C is offspring with different genetic makeup. D. A is offspring with different genetic makeup. B is needs only one parent to reproduce. C is sperm and egg to reproduce. 18. Which of the following is an example? Which of the following is an example of light energy being converted directly into chemical energy? F. Plants producing sugar during the day. G. Fungi decomposing matter in a garden. H. Digestion occurring in the stomach. J. Cellular respiration occurring in the mitochondria. 19. Based on the cell theory, one can assume that cells reproduce. Which of the following tenets of the cell theory best validates this assumption? A. All cells come from pre-existing cells by division. B. All known living things are made up of cells. C. All cells are basically the same in chemical composition. D. All the energy flow of life occurs within cells. 20. Which of the following digestive processes accurately describes a physical change, then a chemical change, and then another physical change? F. Teeth breaking down a piece of pear, swallowing the piece of pear, small intestine converting pear into simple sugars. G. Saliva converting the pear into simple sugars, swallowing the piece of pear, small intestine converting the pear into simple sugars. H. Teeth breaking down a piece of pear, saliva starting to break down the pear, esophagus muscle squeezing the pear. J. Saliva converting the pear into simple sugars, teeth breaking down a piece of pear, stomach muscle squeezing the pear. 21. The image below compares a river microhabitat and a pond microhabitat within the same ecosystem. Which of the following best describes the variety of organisms in these two aquatic microhabitats? A. The two habitats will have identical producers and consumers because they are both aquatic, have the same conditions, are in the same ecosystem. B. The river and pond microhabitats will most likely have different producers but identical consumers because they are both aquatic and part of the same ecosystem with different conditions. C. The river and pond microhabitats will most likely have different consumers but identical producers because they are both aquatic and part of the same ecosystem. D. The river and pond microhabitats will most likely have some identical and some different producers and consumers because they are both aquatic but have some different conditions. 22. While playing basketball in the yard, Maria began to sweat. This response to the stimulus of exercise and increased body temperature will help Maria's body maintain homeostasis by F. Forcing her to rest, G. Increasing her heart rate, H. Cooling her body, or J. Encouraging respiration. 23. Many children resemble their parents in some way. The shape of their nose and the color of their hair are examples of inherited traits. What controls traits in organisms? A. Mitochondria in the cytoplasm. B. Chromosomes on eggs in the nucleus. C. Genes on chromosomes in the nucleus. D. Cilia attached to the outside of the cell membrane. 24. All of the following statements are part of the cell theory except what? F. All cells come from existing cells. G. All living things are composed of cells. H. All cells extract energy from food. J. The cell is the basic unit of life. 25. What energy transformation provides the thermal energy to maintain our body temperature? A. Chemical energy from food transferred to heat during digestion and metabolism. B. Potential energy from movement transformed to heat throughout the body. C. Electrical energy from the nervous system to heat as nerve cells function. D. Light energy from the sun heating our bodies during exposure to the sun. 26. Which statement best describes the offspring of the species shown in the model above?